Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another coloring book supply review video for you guys. It's been a while since I did one of these videos, so I wanted to jump on here and give you a review of a new product that I've tried out recently, and that is Arteza watercolor pens, or real brush pens they're called, but they're basically watercolor pens. I have, to be honest, never used this brand before, but the company Arteza did actually reach out to me and let me pick out a few things from the website that I could try out for free. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about this product, as well as sharing the pros and cons of these watercolor pencils and kind of who I think they're good for and if I think that they are worth buying. Before we get into it though, I do actually have an affiliate link that I will put down in the description box. It would be super helpful if you do use that link if you are going to make any purchases with Arteza, because I do actually get a small commission from that. Also, Arteza did give me a 10% off coupon code to share with you guys. So if you are thinking about making any purchases, definitely use that 10% off coupon so you can get some money off your order. Okay, so let's get started. So these are the Arteza real brush pens, and basically they're watercolor pens where you can have the effect of using watercolor without having to have, you know, the brushes and the cleaning supplies and the water and the paper towels and all that stuff. Basically, it's watercolor built into a marker format. So really unique product. I've never tried anything quite like this in the past, so I was really excited to give these a go. Also, they sent me 2 of these watercolor notepads. These are 32 sheets, but they're like super thick paper. So both of these are available at Arteza. To give you a little bit of background on the pricing, the 24 pack of markers that I have here, the full price is $55, but they are actually on sale right now for only $19. So definitely worth checking out for that sale price. Also, they have a 48 pack, which is normally $87. So pretty pricey, but the sale price is only $30.99. So pretty cool if you are thinking about making a purchase. Okay, so basically how these work, I'll kind of show you, but these are the markers. Here, this is some blending that I did with these markers prior to this video, but they just look like a marker, but in the top, instead of like a ballpoint or something like that, it's a brush. So you can kind of see here, it's not the most, but you can kind of see it's like actually a brush. And you can actually use a little bit of water. I do have a cup of water here just to kind of experiment to see if that changes anything and kind of what that does. And you can actually use water to get lighter colors out of it, but you don't need to use water. That was just kind of, I noticed that a lot of the colors were very pigmented. So I wanted to try it out with some water just to see what that would do. So here's another blue one. This is kind of what it looks like. You can kind of fill in larger areas as well. And then I'll try it with some water here so you can see. So this is it kind of blended in with a little bit of water, but you definitely don't need the water to use these, but it just kind of adds some more dimensionality if you are looking to do that. So now let's get into a list of pros and cons. So the first pro, let's start with the positives, is they're just a really fun product. I know a lot of people who do coloring, they use gel pens, markers, colored pencils, and this is just kind of another option for you if you like coloring books or you like just coloring and drawing on your own. It's just a kind of a fun and different product. So I would say that's number one, that it's just something fun to try if you've never tried watercolor pencils in the past or watercolor markers in the past. The next thing I really like about them is they're very portable. So basically they come in this pack that's I don't know how big this is. The pack is not that tiny, but what's really nice is they're so much more portable than actually a watercolor set. So if you are someone who likes to, like you're going on vacation to the beach and you want to take your watercolors with you, or whatever, you went to the park and you want to sketch, what you see in the park or whatever the case is, you can take these with you very easily, much more easily than you can take an actual watercolor set, where you need to have all the brushes, you need to have paper towels to kind of clean up the brushes, you need to have the cup of water, all that stuff. This is just very compact. It's not going to like spill, in your bag. It has this cap here. So it's just very clean and portable, and it's just very convenient, I would say, if you're someone who is interested in watercolor, but don't necessarily want kind of the hassle factor of actual having the watercolor pack and all of the brushes and all of that stuff. So that is number 2. Number 3, they are very blendable, and what I like about these packs is they come with a lot of colors kind of in the same color family. Like you can see here where I blended all of these colors together. Also some of these sort of yellow, reds, pinks. They are really pretty, and it kind of adds a whole nother dimension as well if you do add a little bit of water to it. Just kind of sticking, I'll show you here. Just kind of like stick the tip in to get some water on the brush, and then you can kind of add that whole nother dimension of color, which I think is really, really pretty if you like watercolors. And that kind of brings me to my final point. I think the quality is really nice. I think the end result looks really pretty. If you like watercolors, I would definitely recommend looking into these, because I think they're just a fun product, especially right now. The 24 pack is a pretty reasonable price on the Arteza website. So I think they're definitely worth checking out if it's something that you are interested in. Okay, now let's get into the cons. So my first con is I think they are a little bit difficult to use with coloring books. So this is a coloring book that I actually got from my brother who lives in Japan. I was coloring in one of the pictures with these watercolor pens, and it is a little bit difficult just because, I'll put it this way, if you care about staying in the lines, it is difficult to use these watercolor pens because, they are brushes rather than very fine pointed pens or colored pencils and things like that. So if you're someone who really cares about staying in the lines, being very precise, then these might not be the pens for you, just because it's hard to get. With a lot of the coloring books, you have these like little tiny areas, and it is kind of difficult to really color in those tiny areas. So because of that, they may not be the best for coloring books, especially if it's a coloring book like this with a lot of tiny little areas. If you're coloring in a coloring book with a lot more large shapes, I think these may work better. But to be honest, I think watercolors in general just are best utilized in kind of wide open spaces on the paper. So I think just buying a book like this that's like a wide open sketch pad, I think that's going to be your best bet for these, rather than trying to use them in a coloring book, unless you're kind of okay with more of that watercolor look, which kind of can blend out of the lines a little bit. The other con I have is it is a little bit difficult to blend them once it's dry. So you basically have maybe 30 seconds window to blend, and then they dry, then the color dries, and it's really difficult to go over with other colors and blend it where it looks like it blends in. Of course, you can put color over it and kind of create a dimensionality, but it's hard to actually blend them in without adding more water. Now, you can add more water and then blend it, but it's just a little bit more difficult. I think that's probably true of really all watercolors. I think this is a common problem with all watercolors, but just something to keep in mind if you're someone who likes to kind of linger over one image in a coloring book or one image on the page over a long period of time. These pens may not be for you, especially if you want the convenience factor of having it all in the marker format without having to add additional water. So those are really my main two cons. I think for coloring books, they are a bit difficult. Also, they are, it's challenging to blend once they are dry, just because you really need that water, whether it be from the marker or from separate water, to get that watercolor effect. Otherwise, it's just kind of like a regular marker versus a watercolor marker. So just something to keep in mind. But overall, I think these are really fun. I think the end result is really, really pretty. I'm definitely going to do a lot more experimentation in the sketchbook that they gave me, because the quality of the sketch paper is very, very good. It's extremely thick paper. So you could use these markers on them, or you could use really anything on this paper. It is extremely thick paper. So if you are going to buy these markers, I would recommend getting a watercolor sketchbook if you don't already have one, just because, especially if you're adding additional water, it may soak through other materials that you have. So that's it. I hope you guys like the video. Definitely subscribe if you like this type of thing. I'm sure I will have more videos like this in the future. And if you subscribe, you will be the first to know when I publish those. So if you have any experience with Arteza or would like to try this product out, definitely let me know down in the comments. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.